In this video, I'm going to show you how I made a crime tip app for my community area using no code, building this app with AppSheet. This works on desktop, it works on mobile. Pretty interesting app. I'm going to show you how it functions, and then I'm going to explain how I made it, and I'm going to leave a link to some free courses that you can get via Skillshare so you can learn how to make this. I have some courses that I've taught specifically on this, and I'm going to make probably a free course that's going to be on how to make this exact app. But if you want to learn more about AppSheet and no-code apps and data fundamentals and stuff like that so you can make cool things like this, then definitely check out the link below. But let's talk about a little bit behind how this works. So you see there's this map here. So the app, it has a map of the surrounding area. The goal of this app is to provide a crime tip app for police officers in the Hampton Roads area. So right here you see we have a map, and we actually have a few crime tips here, and I can click on one and I can see, okay, this is all just fake data that I have in here, but this is a DUI. I say, hey, here's a description of the crime, here's the address, right? So then a police officer, if they got this crime tip inside the app, if they're viewing it, someone else had submitted it, they could click on the car, and on a mobile phone, they would get driving directions and go straight to where that crime tip is. And then at that point in time, they could mark this as solved or not solved if we added that in there. So let's go and see about adding a crime tip. So let's say we're over, I'm just gonna say over at the park. Let's say there's something going on. Let's say that there's some sort of crime happening. So let's drop a point real quick, and I can drag this to wherever the issue is. And this is really easy on a mobile phone because usually it can drop a point right where you're at because it can detect your location. So super cool. So we got this address here, a roundabout location. And when you're submitting crime tips, usually it's kind of roundabout. A lot of cities have some sort of crime tip application where it's just a text message and you just sort of vaguely describe what's going on and maybe give an address. But this gives an actual point on a map where someone could literally drive right to. So once you drop that point and you hit place pin, then we can go ahead and select a category. So we can say that this is a violent crime. We'll say someone's getting robbed in the park. We'll add that in. And then right here, if we click this right here on a phone, it will allow us to take a picture and then load it right in. And then we just hit save, and that tip is submitted, right? So if you go over to this view right here, I can see all of the tips. And an officer, they could refresh this app and they could get the most recent tips down here at the bottom, and they could click on them and they could see where they're at, and they could say, yep, let's go over there, and they'll click on the location and then click on the car, and then they'll be able to go straight over into they'll be able to drive right over there and deal with it right away. So this is a really cool type of application. It took me no time at all to make this, and I can definitely share with you the knowledge on how to make something like this. AppSheet's really cool because it's free to play around with. It's not free, however, to deploy your apps and actually have them available for use. So that is one catch with it. But once you understand the concept of no code and how to build structured data and how to build simple applications like this, you really start to grasp the potential of where you could go with apps. And depending on what you make and the purpose of it, it can be super valuable, and you can actually really justify spending your money, right? So I think it would probably be pretty great for every police department in the country to have something like this, a robust application where people can submit crime tips so that way they can get responded to quickly as possible and get dealt with and ultimately keep the community a little bit safer, right? So this is a pretty cool application. Let me take you into AppSheet and explain a little bit about how this all got made. All right, so inside of here, we've got AppSheet, we got the app. We can mess around with this. We can work on our data, all of our views, right? So if I want to go work on the map view, or if I want to go work on this tips view right over here, I can go ahead and I can change these around. I could make them into different views, change the options, right, to fit what sort of user interface I want. And right now I have it set up as deck. And then actually one thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to sort date time descending, so that way the date and time this was submitted will be the soonest, right? So that DUI was the most recent one that was submitted So we want that to be the case, right? So also, like, how are we getting that date time, right? Well, let's go into our data tab. Something I did in here is I got the date and time submission from the actual user, and I just took that and made that reflect. I think I made it reflect, yeah, now. So you can do cool little things with functions and expressions where you can say explicitly, hey, I want this time field to reflect right now when the user is submitting this tip, so that way we know when they came in and we know how to sort them. So that was just a quick demo of AppSheet's capabilities and something I made with it. So if you want me to teach you how to make this, definitely hit the links for my classes below, or you can go ahead and just fiddle around with AppSheet yourself and just Google some guides and just learn some stuff with that, right? So hopefully this was helpful. And if you want to check out my classes, there is like a free trial for like 2 weeks on Skillshare, which is more than enough time to take any of my classes for free. Definitely hit that link and you can go do that. So anyhow, appreciate you watching, and hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this on my channel. Thanks for watching.